body strength pyramid workout for you today. So typically in our pyramid classes, we kind of mix strength with some jumping around and plyometrics. Today's, it's just straight strength training. And we really want to challenge ourselves with the weight. I'm not throwing in any moves that are too funky. Our main challenge here is we're going to kind of stick to basics, but we're going to go as heavy as possible. So the heaviest set of weights I have at my apartment are 20s. So that is what I'm going to use today. To modify any of the exercises we're going to do, just have a lighter set of weights on hand. Format is the same as our express pyramid. I give you 6 exercises. First time you go through them, you do them each for 60 seconds, then 45 seconds, and finally just 30 seconds. And you get 15 seconds to rest in between each exercise, longer when you complete a set. We'll start class with a guided warm-up focused on mobility and some dynamic movement to build a little heat, and we will finish up class with a quick guided cool down. For our warm-up, it's body weight mostly, but right at the end we will grab one weight, so just have it easy to grab. Otherwise, we can start standing, and because we're going to be hanging on to those heavy weights just a little bit for grip strength, I want you to open the hands up wide, spread those fingers, and then just clench a fist. Opening and closing, really stretching the palm open, blinking them sort of. Open and close. Give me 4, right arm reaches up, 3, we're going to side bend, and 2, last time, stretch. So from here, right arm is going to sweep up, we're going to side bend over to the left, and you're just going to rotate on an exhale down, and on an inhale up. Last time. Come through center and let's take it over to the other side. Left arm reaches up, side bend over to the right. Exhale, rotate down. Inhale, rotate up. So lower body focus today. But when we're using heavy weights and a lot of lower body exercises, your back has to work to stabilize the spine and keep it in neutral. So we are going to, last time, focus a little bit on that mid-back area and the shoulders. Come up through center, and now from here we're going to do a hip hinge with an arm sweep. Arms overhead at the top. Arms sweep back as the hips slide back. I shot a hamstring heavy class a couple days ago, and the backs of my legs are still feeling it. So shooting this today will be interesting. Next time you hinge, I want you to hold the hinge. I want you to flip the palms in towards each other, and let's do a reverse fly. Again, going back to what I was talking about, the mid-back works a lot together with the legs when we are holding heavy weights, especially when we hold heavy weights at our chest and front, when we're front-loaded. So we don't lose connection to our core. We maintain neutral. We don't flare open through the ribs. We don't jut the head forward. Fly for 4, 3, 2, 1. You can bring hands to heart center. Stay in the hinge. I want you to just bend and stretch through the knees. Big bend and stretch. Keep reaching the hips back. We're going to do forward fold to squat. You might need to separate your feet a little bit in 3, 2, 1. Start by just forward folding, fingertips to the mat. And then from here, we're going to lift the chest, bend into the knees, come into that low squat. Maybe a little shift side to side. Fingertips to the mat and straighten forward fold. Down into your squat. So we're going to do kind of a little mobility flow up next on one side and then the other. It'll be quick. Next time you come into your forward fold, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll it up to stand. We're going to do a hip circle into a lunge, and we can start with the left side. So you're going to march your left knee up. You're going to hinge it open to the left. You're going to start to circle it in that hip joint as you bend into your front right knee. Step it back, come into your low lunge. Same thing, same side. Knee drive. Hinge it open. Circle within the hip joint. Step it back. Give me one more in this time. Hold in that lunge position. And then from here, I want you to bring hands to the mat on the inside of that right foot. And we're straightened through the back left leg. And we're going to do world's greatest. So you're going to take that inside right arm. You're going to twist it open to the ceiling. You're going to bring it back to the floor. And then we're going to step that back foot forward. We're going to come up tall. Same thing, other side. So your right knee marches up. Hinges open, circle within the hip joint, step it back, low lunge. Give me one more, and we're going to hold the lunge position. From your lunge position, hands to the inside of your left foot as you straighten your back right leg. And then you take the inside left hand, reach it up towards the ceiling. Hands to the mat. Now this time, instead of stepping forward, I want you to step both feet back into a plank position. You're going to pike the hips up. You're going to inchworm your hands in, and you're going to inchworm them out. Inchworm them in. Legs stay as straight as possible. And out. Last time, we come up to stand. We got some dynamic movement up next. Roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae. So first up, we're going to be in kind of a wide semi-squat position. We're just going to pivot, lunge, center squat, pivot, other side. Building a little heat in the legs here. I'm going to give you 2 moves. We'll go through them twice, and then we're going to grab our weight to finish up this warm-up. We're going really heavy with the weight today, so even though this is a pretty quick class, our pyramid is not very long. I want us to make sure we are thoroughly warmed up. Up next, we got a squat to a butt kick in 3, 2, 1. Come to your squat, reach the arms forward. As you come up, pull the heel in towards your seat as you roll those elbows back. Going side to side. Lunge squat, lunge pivot in 4, 3, 2, 1. Squat, lunge pivot. Squat, pivot other side. Squat to butt kick in 4, 3, 2, 1. Squat, arms reach forward at the bottom. Come up, draw heel into seat. We're going to grab our weight to finish up our warm-up. We have a good morning hinge to a squat in 4, 3, 2, 1. So you're going to grab a single weight, you're going to hold it at your chest. And from here, we're going to do our hip hinge, and then we'll drop to a squat. So feet can be a little wider than hips distance. Open through the chest, connected to your mid-back. Slide the hips back into your hinge. Bend the knees, come to your squat. Press your feet into the floor and stand. And just keep going like that. So this is so that we can kind of ease into using those heavy weights in our pyramid. I'm going to give you a preview of our 6 exercises. Again, they're pretty straightforward. Give me one more here. We hinge, we squat, we stand, and now here is your quick exercise preview. First up, it's a deadlift. Use both weights. We slide the hips back, drive through the glutes as we bring our hips back upright. Second exercise, we build off that. It's a deadlift, and then you step to a back lunge. Deadlift, other foot steps to a back lunge. We then build off that. We're going to drop down to one weight. It's going to be a squat clean. In your low squat, step to your back lunge. Squat clean, step to a back lunge, other side, alternating. From there, we stick with one weight. It's going to be a narrow squat pulse. You pivot open into a sumo squat pulse there. Back to narrow, pulse, sumo, other side, trying to stay low. Fifth exercise, we build off that sumo squat. So there's going to be a sumo squat all the way up, all the way down. At the bottom, you do a calf raise, lifting the heels, and you give me 4 little pulses. Heels drop, rise up, lower back down. Final exercise, we go back to both weights. We're finishing with heavy squats. If using both weights is too much on that, you can always modify by just using one. All right, hardest round is first, 60 seconds a move. Let's go. Okay, deadlifts to start. So we're going to grab both weights. Palms are going to face in towards us. Feet are about hips distance apart. Open through the chest, connected to your core. Hips are going to slide back. So it's not a squat. Hips slide back. Stay long and neutral through the chest, through the spine, and open through the chest. You don't have to get super low, okay? Hands stay very close to your legs as you do this. So your hands kind of slide down your shins. And a note, if you bend your knees a lot on a deadlift, it's going to be more glutes dominant. And if you keep your legs straighter, it's going to be more hamstrings dominant. Neither is wrong. They're just different emphases. You know what I mean. Really squeeze the glutes as you come to the top, and 15 seconds to rest. You might want to put the weights down for the 15 seconds just so that grip strength doesn't fatigue. Next up, we're going to build off that. So it's still one deadlift, but then you'll step to a back lunge, and we alternate the back lunge each time. Let's go. One deadlift. Come to the top. Back lunge, step 1 foot back. Deadlift. Other side. When you do the back lunge, don't let your front knee jut out over the toes. It should stay over your heel pretty much. Okay, and rest. So we're going to drop down to one weight now. We stand that weight up on its end. It's going to be a squat clean. At the bottom of the squat, step to a back lunge, back to your low squat, and then just do your squat clean other side, back lunge other side. So get low in the squat, open through the chest. You clean it, squat down. Step to a back lunge, step to your low squat. We start from the top. Squat clean, other foot steps back, so we stay low. Rest. Okay, so we're going to stick with one weight. Narrow squat pulse, pivot open into a sumo squat pulse. A minute is a long time to stay low, but you can do it. So narrow squat. We pulse here, pivot open into a sumo squat, pulse here, come back through center, and then it's just other side. Now, our mid-back has to work here to keep our chest open and our spine in neutral. If it becomes too much for your mid-back, there is an option to have your weight like this so that it's on your back. Sometimes that can make a difference, and it can help a little bit, okay? Up to you. It honestly doesn't make a huge difference, so just do what's most comfortable for your grip. Oh, rest. Okay, so from here, again, still one weight. We're going to build off that sumo squat. At the bottom is a calf raise, and we pulse with the heels lifted. So you're externally rotated from the hips, nice wide stance. Come down, lift the heels, give me 4 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heels lower, stand it up, squeeze your bum. Down, lift the heels. If it's too much pulsing with the heels lifted, do them with them down. Knees are tracking in line with middle toes, so really press them outward. If you're advanced, you could do this with both weights. It's a lot with the calf raise, though. I think one's good. Woo, rest. All right, final exercise, 60 seconds, heavy squats, grab both weights. If you need to modify, you can do just one weight, otherwise rack them on your shoulders. Whew, gonna be tough, let's go. I don't care so much about rep number. I want quality reps. Make sure your knees are not wobbling inward, so they track in line with middle toes to pinky toes. You press your feet into the floor, squeeze through the glutes as you come up. We stay open through the chest so we don't round those shoulders forward. We get a nice long recovery on the other side of this. Oh, and rest. Awesome work. Okay, so you get a full minute. Full 60 seconds here. We'll start from the top. Things are already getting better, okay? This next time through, it's just 45 seconds per exercise. Just resetting my timer to 45-second intervals. So now's the time to reassess. How you feeling with the weights? If you're not feeling challenged, go up a little bit. If it's too much, if form is slipping, maybe grab a lighter set. We'll start from the top of those deadlifts. All right, let's do it. Let's grab those weights. The sun just went behind a cloud, so I have good lighting. We're gonna start with that deadlift. Open through the chest, connected to your core, so don't flare open through the ribs. We're gonna slide those hips back. At the top, I really want you to contract the glutes, but I don't want you to thrust the hips forward and sink into your lower back like this, so you also need to brace through the core. As you come to the top, glutes and core. Slide those hips back. And I'm cueing glutes contracting, but your hamstrings really work on these as well. Keep the weights in tight to your body. Don't let them swing out. 15 seconds to rest. Quick little release for grip strength. We're going to build off that deadlift, back lunge, alternating the back lunge. One deadlift, back lunge. Make sure you alternate that back lunge. All right, you have 15 seconds to rest, and we drop down to one weight for the next three exercises. So you have that squat clean at the bottom, you step to a back lunge. So stand the weight up on its end. You're gonna keep that weight close to your body as you clean it. Squat down at the bottom, step to a back lunge, back to your squat. Come up, weight returns to the floor. We start from the top, other foot steps back. So find a steady pace on these. Don't rush it, but think steady. Rest. Okay, we stick with one weight. Narrow squat pulse, pivot into sumo, side to side. It's a long time to stay low, but you got this. Connect it to your mid-back, open through the chest, brace through the core. Pulse in sumo. Pulse narrow. When you pivot open into the sumo, really stabilize through the planted foot, so try not to let the knee wobble. Keep it tracking in line with middle toes, not inward of big toes. Rest. Okay, so we build off that. Each exercise kind of builds off the other. So you have that sumo squat at the bottom, calf raise. So wide stance, externally rotated within the hip joint. 4 pulses in the calf raise position. Lift the heels, 4 pulses. After your 4 pulses, heels go down. Come up to stand, sink back. Rest. Okay, we have that heavy squat. If 2 weights is too much, you can absolutely just use 1. Hold it at your chest. Otherwise, we're going to rack those weights on our shoulders. Heavy squat. Final 45-second long interval. You got this. Rest. Okay, take 45. So we have just one more time through the circuit. It's our quick round. 30 seconds to move. It's going to fly by, okay? The 30-second round feels like a gift after the other 2, okay? All right, we got deadlifts to start. Grab those weights. Roll those shoulders down and back. Open through the chest. Keep the weights tight to your body so they kind of slide down your shins. It's not a squat. There is a little bend to the knees. You don't keep them locked out by any means. But it's not a huge bend. The more you bend your knees, the more glute focus it'll be, which is not a bad thing. Just always good to know which muscles you are primarily targeting. Rest. All right, so we build off that. Deadlift, back lunge. Let's go. Get low in that back lunge. Don't bang your back knee on the floor by any means, but it might even lightly tap it. Rest, and we drop down to one weight. Squat clean. At the bottom of that squat, step to a back lunge, back to the squat, start from the top. So this one, we can pick up the pace a little bit, but we don't fling the weight around. It's controlled. Let's go. We clean it. Back lunge. When you return the weight to the floor, you're not rounding forward. You're sending your butt and hips back, open through the chest. Rest. Okay. Narrow squat pulse, sumo squat pulse. 3 30-second intervals of work to go. You got this. And narrow doesn't need to be super narrow. Your ankles don't have to be touching by any means. Pulse it. Sumo. Stay low. Rest. Okay, sumo squat. I'm just going to switch my grip. Sumo squat, calf raise, 4 pulses. So wide stance and then externally rotate that thigh and the hip joint. Squat down, lift the heels. 4, 3, 2, pulse for 1, heels down and stand. Rest. Okay, we go heavy to finish. 30 seconds of heavy squats. We rack those weights on our shoulders. You got this. Final 30, then we cool down. Go. Try to get in 6 reps at least. And done. I did 7 reps, literally 1 more than my suggested. All right, weights can go down. I'm gonna bring you through a quick cool down. Awesome work. I have similar workouts focused on upper body, 2 of them. One is biceps, triceps, shoulders. One is chest, back. Same structure. Great if you want a slightly shorter, strictly strength workout. Okay, to start, let's interlace the fingers, flip the palms, and I want you to round forward, flexing the spine. This should feel really good. We just asked our mid-back to do a lot of work keeping the spine upright. So now let's let it flex forward, round forward, breathe into that space between your shoulder blades. Oh my gosh, Pickles is being so cute. I don't know if you can see her in the corner of the screen. Hey, baby. Let's roll it up to stand and let's take a quad stretch. So you're gonna grab one foot in your hand, pull the heel in towards your bum, drop the tailbone down so you feel that opening. And let's switch over to the other side. If you do want a little bit longer of a class, you're not ready to end it, this would also be a great workout to add a lower body song to. So I have lunge songs, squat songs. You could do one of those as almost a little cardio finisher to this. Or you can just be done. Release the foot. We're gonna get back of the leg now. I want you to plant one heel about 6 inches in front of the other, hips distance apart. Bend into your back knee and slide the hips back for a hamstring stretch. You might stay here. You can bring hands to the thigh of the bent knee, not the straight leg. Or maybe you wrap your hands around the foot and gently pull it towards you, whatever works for you. Coming up, let's do the other side. Square the hips, bend into your back knee, slide the hips back. Option to grab the foot. Coming up to stand, let's take one breath together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, let it go. That is your class. Awesome work today. See you next time.